Dayton, Ohio, you look beautiful. Because this is the show where Ohio throws down. Ohio is on fire. And I'm your host, Daniel Diesel. We are live here from WWSU 106.9 FM. Dayton's right choice. Of course, we're online at TuneIn. And welcome, if you're listening, welcome. I have a good show for you tonight, so I hope you enjoy it. I like to think I have a good show every week, but I guess that's opinionated. People are entitled to their opinions. But I need to say something tonight. I got some OMVP. Got some things I got to get off my chest. I'll be playing some top 120 music, the greatest Ohio songs of all time. And I got my Dim Weekly Showcase, which is at the second half of the show, for some local music, artists that are rising up on the charts here in the area. So I'll be doing that. Of course, I'll be talking about standing up for yourself tonight. Oh yeah, and I got a live exclusive interview with Lab Partners. They are here tonight. They are the great Lab Partners band from Dayton, Ohio. They're going to be playing at the Midpoint Music Festival coming up next week. And they've played a lot of festivals around the country. I'm going to talk to them. We're going to get a real talk going about the music business. And they're up for it. And they'll be here tonight. And listen, I'm here. If you want to request a song, or you want to talk to me about whatever it is I talk about, you want to respond to it, call me here at 937-775-5555. That should be easy to remember. That's 2 7s and 5 5s. But anyway, welcome Ohio is on Fire, people. I got some good news. In case you don't know, there is a Deadpool movie coming out in 2016. It's going to happen. And I found out about it a few days ago, and I am excited because Deadpool, he is like none other Marvel character. He's crazy, man. If you don't know who Deadpool is, he's from the X-Men universe, and he's kind of a deviant. What I mean is that he does bad things to everybody. He doesn't team up with anybody. He kind of works alone to his own amusements. He takes on the good guys, and he takes on the bad guys, which I guess that makes him the ultimate bad guy, I guess. And he does jokes, and he's been featured in a lot of cartoons based on the Marvel characters, and he's usually one that stands out. While everyone, you got your typical good guy and your typical bad guy. Deadpool takes the cake, and there's going to be a live action movie of him in 2016, and Ryan Reynolds will be the starring actor for Deadpool, and I'm happy with that choice. I think Ryan Reynolds will be a great Deadpool. I could see him doing that voice. Ooh, X-Men, you amuse me. All right, I got to work on my Deadpool accent, and I got 2 years to work on it because it's coming. And the Ryan Reynolds, he portrayed the Deadpool character when he was in his Deadpool outfit. It was X-Men's First Class movie back many years ago, and that was before they had control of their mutant powers. They all went to mutant school to learn how to be a mutant, and the Ryan Reynolds, he played the role of the guy that would become Deadpool, and ever since then people were wondering when they'd make a movie off him, and it's going to happen. It's going to be great. I have high expectations for it. Of course, also in 2016, it's going to be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. That's going to be out. Spider-Man 3. The Amazing Spider-Man 3 is supposed to be out that year. And what else? I think Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is supposed to have a sequel that year. So it's crazy. It's going to be a good year for movies. And I got to thinking, all these comic book characters, they have, when you become popular enough, they have their own live action movie. And you know what? There's some other characters I think they've been given the shaft. They have been ignored, and they should have their own live action movie. And hopefully I'm going to defend their case right now. These are superheroes that need a live action movie. But first we got Bouncy Boy. This is about Bouncy Boy. All he does is bounce. What he does, he blows himself up like a balloon, like he'll take his finger and blow himself up, and he just bounces everywhere, and he smashes anything in front of him. Like if it's a window, he'll smash it, or he'll roll over anyone. He's like a large balloon, and then he just bounces away. And that would be fun to watch a live action movie of that guy. And to be honest with you, I think that's probably one of the weakest superpowers you could have, just be able to bounce. Because if you want to inflate a balloon, all you do is get one of those shiny pins and pop it. Just imagine the CGI effect of Bouncy Boy in a live action film. And That movie probably end in 10 minutes. I don't think he'd last very long. So that's Bouncy Boy. Now we got Promiscuous Tiger. Yes, this tiger, it's a live-action tiger who can talk. He has 2 legs and 2 arms, but he's sexually curious. Like, he doesn't know if he's straight or gay. And he just solves his dilemma while he goes out and fights crime. He wears a cape and a mask, and he does karate moves. Hi-ya! Arr, ah! And he's confused. Like, he knows he's a hero, but he doesn't know what he wants sexually. So that's Promiscuous Tiger. And now we got Super Freak. Yes, just like the Rick James song. Yes, there needs to be a character of a live-action film called Super Freak. And this lady, she would wear these sexy, low-cut jeans. Very sexy. It didn't matter if it was white or black. I mean, it's up to you who you want to cast for the role. Whether it's Halle Berry or Jennifer Lawrence. Get someone really sexy. Someone, yeah, you know, skimpy outfit. And she fights crime. And when all else, if it fails, if fine crime fails, then she makes out with the enemy. And of course, when the boy is kidnapped from the bad guy, the Super Freak, she makes out with the bad guy. And the little boy runs away, calls the cops. So that's the power of Super Freak. Alright. Super Freak. She's super freaky now. Alright. That was weird. Alright, we got Super Teardrop Girl. Now, little girls, their stereotype of crying a lot when they don't get their way. And that's true. But this is a super teardrop girl. This woman is, I tell you, when you get around this little girl and she cries, it can be deadly for some people. Because her teardrops, they'd be 10 times thicker than other teardrops. So it'd be like a waterfall. And you would choke to death on her water, the water from her tears. And also, little girls, they like to wear mascara. So the water would ruin her mascara. And that mascara is made of poison. So yes, you're going to drown and get poisoned to death by this little girl. And I want to see a live action movie of that. That'd be awesome. They should star Anne Hathaway. They should CGI her where she shrinks in half and she's a little girl. Alright, now I got a few more. I think it'd be a good idea. We got Tourette's Man. Yes, people who have Tourette's syndrome, they're known to say inappropriate things at the most inappropriate times. And especially some language that can't be shared on radio-friendly programming. Family programming, if you will. And Tourette's, you know how if you have a day job, you got your boss at work, or perhaps you're played for the football team and your high school coach. He's very disapproving of your performance. They got some rage like you can't believe. Just imagine if they took that rage off of a criminal that's robbing a bank. Like, you SOB, I can't believe you did that. You're so worthless. You're a loser just like your father. You drop down and give me 10. Imagine the criminal point a gun at him, and then the Tourette's man, he makes him drop down and give him 10. He just goes on a rage. Like one of these people with severe anger issues, he breaks tables everywhere. He goes on a cursing rampage. And actually, his rage would be so intimidating, like the bad guy would run away. Like, anytime some rage can fight rage pretty good. Just remember that movie, It's a Mad, Mad World? And that guy, he said he's mad as heck and he can't take it anymore. And he went on this rampage. He wanted to do bad things to people. Well, imagine he fought Tourette's Man. He wouldn't. That'd be so awful. Be two guys yelling at each other, like ram 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 ram. Couldn't imagine. So that's Tourette's Man. And last but not least, I got one last superhero. I think it would make a great live action movie. Turbo Elephant. And that says it all right there. Turbo Elephant. Take the gigantic rage, the peeing and pooing ability of an elephant, give him some superpowers, and everyone's in big trouble. Just imagine the Turbo Elephant being in the Ninja Turtles, and he invaded Dimension X, and he would just crumple everything in its path. How does an elephant do a sound? And then he trembles, and he breaks everything. Yes, Turbo Elephant, the live-action movie, 2017. Alright, what else can I talk about? Yes, I had a really good Saturday night. They're far and in between for me with my busy life nowadays, but I loved my Saturday night because I got to go to the Oregon District in Dayton, Ohio, and it was beautiful. Yes, it was a beautiful night. People were out and happy. And one of the things I did, I was actually, the reason why I went, I got invited to a press party. There's a new band coming up in the area called High Five Riot, but I've been friends with one of the band members for quite some time. And she invited me, and this was exclusive. Like, these were people that have connections, and they do quite well for themselves in their career, in the media, if you will. This was a medium-themed event. And, you know, I guess my friend, she realized I have an awesome radio show every week. And it's, so she threw me a bone. And they played a few songs. And I met some really cool people. I met Kimberly Weiss. She's a big expert on music in the area. I finally got to meet her in person. She's been a big supporter of my them projects since I did the Dayton Indie Music Madness tournament. And now my upcoming concert on November 1st. Big supporter. So I finally met her. And of course I met Ashley Scott. That's the friend of mine in the band. I also met a legend, according to WWSU standards. This guy, Scott Izzo. He was the sports director and sports announcer back in the late 80s. I met him, and he did a lot of hosting for the event. And he was amazing. He sounds great, and he is a legend. So I think some of my sports buddies from the past, I think Lee Mound would be jealous that I met Scott. And it happened, and he's great. It was amazing to meet him. And, of course, the demand, there was food. We got to eat some subs. We got to eat pop. We got to eat, now, there was beer, but, you know, I don't drink beer because I'm straight edge. I'm straight edge like that. And, what else was there? Oh, yeah, barbecue pork. It was a party. And it was great to be there. Of course, this was at the trolley stop. And after I spent some time there, you know, the party came to an end because they rented the place. It was one of those private party houses, you know, for cool people. And it came to an end. And I got to check out the Oregon District some more. And let me tell you something. You know how what little kids feel about Disney World, that's what young adults like me feel about the Oregon District in Dayton, Ohio. The magic happens. And, you know, you got a bunch of bars and little restaurants. We got Blind Bob's. You got the trolley stop. You got Ned Peppers. Ned, what are you doing, Ned? Ned Flanders, you will go to hell if you don't believe. Ooh, that was I was trying to do Reverend Lovejoy. I think I failed miserably. But anyway, and then there's also the Oregon Express. They all have bands on Saturday night. And every once in a while they have themes. I know next month they have the Halloween party on East 5th Street, where everyone dresses up in Halloween outfits. There's vendors. People are drinking beer and like crazy. You know, crazy ones. All these little venues got concerts. And it just puts a smile on your face. People are just happy. And we are back with Ohio's on Fire. I am Daniel Diesel, the one and only. Of course, just now you listened to Beartooth, Feet and Lips. And I got the National. Before that was the National of Exile Vilify. And then to kick things off was Kate Vogel with 99 Times. That's part of my top 120 greatest Ohio songs of all time. I got 3 more coming up in a little bit. I think it's now time for everyone's favorite segment. It's time for OMVP, Ohio's most valuable pedestrian. Ooh, ah. And let me tell you, if you don't know what OMVP is, It's some people that do something. They're in the state of Ohio. They either did something interesting in a good way, or it was weird but still in a good way. Or every once in a while, it's some posthumous where people that were good people, they've died, and just give a little shout out. And there's a big serious issue going on, actually, in my area. It's been a big issue in Greene County. About last month, it had to do with John Crawford III being shot. Yes, it was a big news thing, and it's my hometown is Xenia, Ohio, and the issue of John Crawford III, it actually has now spread to Xenia, Ohio, because the court hearing will take place there. That's the home local court for things that happened in Greene County. And I want to read this news article. It deals with what's been going on recently. But anyway, prosecutors in Ohio began presenting evidence to the grand jury on Monday when resolving the August 5th death of Cincinnati man John Crawford III. He was shot and killed by police while carrying an air rifle in a Walmart store, that was in Beaver Creek. Police contend that Crawford, who was 22, was waving a rifle-type weapon around customers, including children, according to the statement from Beaver Creek Police Captain Eric Grill. Michael Wright, who was representing Crawford's family, says Crawford picked up an unwrapped air rifle from a shelf inside the store in Beaver Creek and was talking on the phone when he was confronted by police. Witness Ronald Ritchie called 911 to report a gentleman walking around with a gun in the store, recording of the call. Ritchie, who can be heard in 911 recordings released by the Beaver Creek Police Department after the incident, says that a man was carrying what appeared to be a rifle, pointed at all people, and waving it back and forth. Then there were muffled screams heard on 911 tape, and Ritchie says he heard gunshots in the store. According to the police, Crawford did not comply with police commands to drop the weapon. Crawford died shortly after being transported to a nearby hospital. His death was ruled a homicide by gunshot wound to the torso, according to the local coroner's office. The quick response by police was intermittent and contained the situation minimizing risk to customers, Grill said in a statement at the time. Now you can read this article at www.cnn.com and just look for John Crawford III. It was a big article, but it's really tragic. Like, it did result to a loss of a life. Now, I wasn't there, and a lot of people, there's conflicting reports on what happened. They're saying that he was doing it on purpose. He had a gun in his hand, and they even said they heard gunshots by him before the police came. And of course, the other story is that he did it by accident. He thought about buying it, and he had a cell phone call, and he just held it in his hand. The police irrationally acted and shot him. So there's conflicting reports. From the sound of things, of course, according to the family, he would never do such a thing. And I do believe it. I believe, based on what I've read, I do think it was a misunderstanding. I do believe that part of, because Walmart has a gun rack. You can get guns, and of course they're usually wrapped up in packages. You can't just unwrap the packages and use them and just use it. Of course, if you use it, you go to prison. So I do believe that that's probably what happened. I think that's the majority story. Like I said, I wasn't there. I feel bad for the family, John Crawford III's family. And you know what? They're going for a hard time right now. I do believe some wrongdoing will be what they call it, monetary damage, and because he was going to make money for the family, and of course he's not around anymore to make money. So that's one big part of losing a young adult in the family. So that's a major blow to them. So I believe a lawsuit is going to be part of it. And of course they're trying to get the cop that did this fired. The guy that's in charge, like I said, it was Police Captain Eric Grill. And then, so they're looking to get him fired. That hasn't been decided yet. So I'm hoping maybe in a month they'll get it resolved and I can report on it. But of course, it's now hit home a little bit because it's taking place in Xenia. On Monday, there was a big protest at the courthouse talking about racial violence. A lot of people do think it was racial. And it was big. Not a lot of things happened in Xenia, Ohio. And this got its national attention. There was a lot of people that on that courthouse, and there were cameras everywhere. And of course, I watched this on the news, and I feel bad for them. So I tell you what, OMVP, it's going to go to the protesters that was at the courthouse on Monday. Every protester that was there for the right reason. The family was there. I don't know all of your names. There was hundreds of you. But like I said, it goes to OMVP. Sometimes it goes to one person. Sometimes it goes to multiple people. You know, we have freedom of speech in this country, so I can appreciate people standing up for their rights. And it was peaceful, so there was no riot. I can appreciate that. So there was no rioting in Xenia, Ohio, for an event that happened in Beaver Creek, Ohio. Because I say if something bad were to happen, then I know a lot of people in my town, they would have had some really strong words to say if something bad had happened at this protest. And it was on events that happened in Beaver Creek. So, I guess I got some interesting people live in Xenia, but I'll talk about that some other episode. Oh well. So, protesters, the ones that support John Crawford III, you are OMVP, Ohio's most valuable pedestrian. Round of applause. It's not a real award, but I appreciate people that stand up for their rights. They lost a loved one. And he does seem like, I don't think he did anything wrong. I'm looking at a picture of John Crawford III now. He doesn't seem like a criminal. It might be true that the story where police made arrest decision, they just ran in there and shot him. Like, it looked like he wasn't causing any. So it's up in the air. I mean, hopefully some more evidence will come out. But it's good to stand up for your rights and support ones that you lose like that. There probably could have, even if he was doing, Forrest said if he was doing something wrong, you ain't supposed to shoot. I mean, violence supposed to be a last resort. And, you know, no, I'll stick to my opinion. I don't think he did anything wrong. I believe it was a misunderstanding. He wanted to buy a gun. He wasn't waving at anybody. Some guy freaked out. They came in and took the poor guy's life. So. And we are back with Ohio is on Fire. And right now I got my exclusive interview for tonight. I am with Mike Smith from Lab Partners. But I got him on by telephone right now. But say hello, Mike Smith.
Hey, how you doing? I'm here with the whole band here, actually.
All right. Now, do we get... Hey there. Now, we got Amy Smith and Mike Volks. Is that correct?
Mike Volk and Tim McPherson.
Okay. Well, absolutely. Now, I got a few questions for you, but thanks for being on the show. Now, Mike and Amy, are you guys related?
We are married.
You are married. Well, that's good. Well, yeah. Now you guys have been in this band for several years now. I just want to know who's made the best decisions for the band so far, you or Amy?
Always Amy. She does all. She's boss. With an iron fist.
Okay, well, I thought so. Yeah, the wife is always correct. Now, your band, I was looking you guys up. It says on Wikipedia you guys are a shoegazing band. Now, what exactly is a shoegazing band? What is that?
I guess it's a term that got coined back in the early 90s. Basically, it was about a bunch of bands that use a ton of pedals, and they would stare at their shoes the whole time, and so the press would start writing about these bands like My Bloody Valentine and Ride, and said that they were shoegazers. It just kind of caught on, and it we use a lot of pedals. Yeah, so we use a lot of pedals too. I don't know. Sometimes we sound shoegaze, sometimes we don't, but it's just kind of stuck with partners for some reason.
All right. What other shoegazing bands do you like?
I did just mention like My Bloody Valentine and Ride. You guys have any bands that? Swerve Driver, yeah.
All right. Now, I know
back in the day, you know.
Oh yeah.
Early '90s bands.
Oh yeah, I love the '90s. Also, there's some cool '90s bands. That's some good choices. Now I know each of you in the band, you have over 2 years of. I'm not two. I'm 2 decades worth of musical experiences. You're very experienced. And you probably, I know all you have played with various other bands or done special moments. Who was your favorite person to play with besides the band you're in now, Lab Partners? Who was someone that you really enjoyed playing music with?
Matt Schultz is a great person. We've all kind of played with him.
Sean who?
Matt Schultz, he's a drummer.
Oh, okay.
Bands with over years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Matt's now in, I say that on the radio. Holy F-U-C-K.
Oh, okay. All right, I had to.
That's the name of the
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that one. All right, now I gotta ask you.
stuff like that.
Okay, now anyway, now I know people in Dayton, Ohio know who you are. You've played a lot of areas, a lot of festivals. But have you ever cared about being super famous like Justin Bieber or Rihanna? Have you ever cared about being a really big superstar?
Maybe more like Beyonce.
Oh yeah, Beyonce's sexy.
No, I don't think that's ever been any of our goals. We just like being together and playing music, you know?
Okay. Now, right now, I know for many years, music reality competitions have been really popular, like American Idol, X Factor, The Voice. There's so many now. Are you guys personally tired of music reality shows on television?
I can't say that I've ever watched it.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen them either.
Oh yeah, so you don't watch them.
Yeah, so we're not really tired of them. Maybe we should watch them.
Oh, well that's true. You can't be tired of them if you don't watch them. Well, that's a good point. Now, you guys have been together for quite some time, over decades worth of experience. There's been a lot of venues over the years, like in the Miami Valley area, that's probably closed down. I imagine you've played at. Is there one that doesn't exist now that you miss playing in?
The venue, Elbows was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What was it?
Sorry.
Definitely Club Safari. Yeah.
Oh, Club Safari. Yeah, I heard of them.
The first stop is the late 80s. I guess if you can remember that.
I don't quite remember that, but
Or, Brookwood Hall.
Yeah.
Walnut Hills. Yeah. Walnut Hills, yeah. A lot of them are gone now.
wow, okay. Now I want to ask you about some music festivals. I know next week you're going to be in Cincinnati to play the Midpoint Music Festival. Do you, how many times you go ahead, what'd you say?
It'll be this week, yeah, this weekend.
Oh, this weekend, that's right. Yeah, this weekend. How many times have you played this festival in the past, and what are your expectations for this festival, the Civic Festival?
We've played it once or twice, I believe, before. It's been a while, yeah. I played it last year with the Breeders.
Okay. Do any fights break out in Cincinnati when you play a concert over there?
It was a good time, actually. It was a great time. That music festival's really turning into something. It's getting bigger and bigger every year. Black Rebel Motorcycle Club played last year. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds crazy.
The Tweens, have you ever heard them from Cincinnati?
No, I haven't heard of them.
A real young punk band. They're really good.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check into them sometime. There's probably hundreds of good bands from Cincinnati, and I can never get to all of them, but I'll try. Since you suggested it, I'll try to look at them up. Now you play that festival. Of all the festivals that we have in the world now, what's your favorite one that you've played in, or one that you've watched like on television or heard about? What's your favorite festival?
Probably for us, we've played South by Southwest.
Oh,
That's always been a good time.
wow! You actually played there.
Yeah.
What year was that?
I think
2007 and
several years, 2000.
2008. I think we were there twice, 2 years in a row. It was either 2007 or 2008.
You've been there with the Breeders, right? Or
Yeah.
and with South by Voices, you have played there with both of those bands.
All right. According to all the other bands in Dayton, Ohio, what are some ones that you like the most right now? Someone current. Who do you like right now?
There are also many good ones. Swim Diver's really good.
Yeah, I like them.
Okay, Swim Divers.
Parlor Tricks. Yes, CW Parlor Tricks.
Yeah, I've heard of them. Okay, let me ask you, I got a few more questions. Do you guys have an album coming up that you guys are working on?
We just released one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did 7 Seas.
Record on vinyl.
Yeah, it was 7 Seas. Yeah, I know you did that earlier, almost last year. Are you guys planning working on another one that might be out within the next 2 years? Is that is that on the horizon?
Yeah. We're working on some new material right now. Nothing's really figured out there with it. We haven't started really recording in the writing stages.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck with that. And yes, this weekend you'll be at Midpoint Music Fest.
At Taft Theater, yes.
What's that?
At the Taft Theater with Earth and Death Heaven.
And what night's that going to be on?
Over Cincinnati. We're on at 9:30.
9:30. Is that on a Saturday night?
Saturday night, yeah. The first band, State Song, they're on at 8:15. And then after us is Earth at 10:45.
Okay, well listen, for folks at home, if you want to listen to Lab Partners, yes, they'll be in Cincinnati for the Midpoint Music Festival. It's Saturday night at 9:30 at the, what was the venue again?
Taft Ballroom.
The Taft Ballroom?
Yeah.
The Taft Ballroom. So they will be there, and there'll be a lot of cool bands. So, I mean, it sounds like fun. Of course, I won't be able to make it this year. But I love my festivals, so maybe one day I'll see Lab Partners. But that's all the questions I have for you. I want to thank you, Mike, and Amy, and other Mike Volks.
Thank you. And Jim's here, yep.
And Jim. Shout out to Jim. All right.
Yeah, thanks for letting us speak with you.
Well, you're welcome, and good luck to you. Have a good night. All right. Okay, that was Lab Partners. It happened. That's what happens when you have positive thinking. They said they left me a number a week ago, but I guess there was a miscommunication, but they were cool enough to do it. I got their number, and we did it. But Lab Partners, they have their own website. Some quick announcements about them. They got a website. Just search Lab Partners Band on a Google search, and they got their own website. You can buy their album online, digital album. And of course, I was talking about the Midpoint Music Festival. There's its own website also. Just search Midpoint Music Festival in Cincinnati, and you'll be there. Voila! And there's over 150 bands playing at this festival. A bunch of different venues, similar to South by Southwest in Texas, as we were talking about. It's kind of that was the festival that kind of began the whole trend of big cities doing big time festivals, all venues doing a bunch of bands. South by Southwest began it all, and Cincinnati, I guess, followed suit with their Midpoint Music Festival. All right, it's now time for the final message. Thanks for everyone that's listened to tonight's show. I like the audience I had tonight. It's been great, and it was a really wild show. We had some unpredictability. But listen, power of positive thinking. I am trying hard to have positive thinking in my life. And it happened. Lab Partners, they finally showed up via telephone. We had a good interview, so it happened. And they'll be great. I'll get it on YouTube sometime this weekend, hopefully. And I got a few shows I haven't uploaded it yet, so it's coming. I'm at youtube.com/OhioF. That's where you can find all my past shows of Ohio's on Fire. Plus brand new shows. If you subscribe to me, you will know when new show is up. And enjoy, rate, subscribe, and support me because I want to get myself out there and get my show out there, make people happy, if you will. With that, it's time for a vital message where I want to talk about bullying. And I know my fair share of being bullied. I've been a victim of it most of my life. I know I don't know what causes people to bully other people. I see it all the time in the news. And this is going to be a two-parter because part one tonight I'm going to focus on the childhood bullying, like being a victim of bullying when you're in your childhood, early teens, and in school, I know all kids are different. There's the one that's in shape. You know, they have rich family. They can afford anything they want. And they have good opportunities. They look good. And then there's those like me who are fat and chubby and lack the confidence. When I was a little boy, I lacked a lot of confidence. You know, when people made fun of me, I got upset real easy. You know, they call me bad names at school, and they'd throw rocks at me. Yeah, sometimes this happened during recess. They would throw stuff at me. They'd pick at me, poke at me, and that would upset me sometimes. A lot of times, I guess. But of course, I always had my grandparents to talk to. They'd tell me that how beautiful I was, how wonderful I was. That'd cheer me up for a little bit. And the thing about that is, although I was able to grow out of it, be older, and things change, scenarios change, in one way or another, bullying can still happen, whether it's in the workplace or in high school. And the thing about that is that the people that are younger, we don't really prepare them for being bullied, because I don't know of anybody that's went for this life without being bullied at least once, being made fun of. We're human beings. We're animals. It's bound to happen. You're going to meet a jerk sometime in your life. I don't know anyone that's never met a bad person in their life. So, which is why I'd love to see elementary schools and junior highs and even high schools. We need to have a anti-bullying class. Like, it's not enough to have a TV commercial saying, "Ooh, bullying's wrong. You can't call this guy the Q word, the gay Q word, if you will. You can't use the F word on this kid." And I mean, it's good to be informative, but we need a class. We need a class in elementary. We need, like, if you're in first grade, one of the first classes you need to take is anti-bullying. Like, it needs to be in your head, like, what is bullying? What's the wrong thing to say? What's the appropriate way to act in certain situations? Let me tell you something. We just had a few of those classes when we were younger. A lot of crime, you know, a lot of violence that goes on in high school, and a lot of vulgarness would die down, because it's just the same old story over and over. We just break into cliques when we get older. And there's people on the losing side, people on the winning side. And of course, that's led to unnecessary violence. Especially, I think what kicked the door open was the unfortunate Columbine shooting in '99. And no, it was definitely uncalled for. That was very evil what happened that day. But it's happened a lot since then. We've had the Virginia Tech shootings. There was one in California last year. It was a small California college. And unfortunately, we had Sandy Hook last year. It happened December of last year. And it's sickening. I mean, bullying works in two ways. Like, there's those that are oppressed, and because they are oppressed, they feel like they have to take revenge, and it gets too far. That's why they turn to guns and any drug they can get hold of, and violent revenge. It's an ultra-violent revenge, and I think that's been a problem in Beaver Creek and Xenia area. It's a problem in Dayton, too. And that would make me happy if we had education when we were young about anti-bullying, an actual class. Because I don't think I would have been made fun of when I was younger if there was such a class. And I was. When I was a little kid, there was the ones that had them. They were like a little golden god. They had good families. They had opportunities. They had talent that was noticeable. And then there was fat kids like me. And unfortunately, some people don't see the future, and they do really bad things in their life early or in other people's lives. So let's educate ourselves while we can. Like, if you don't know, then go and know it. You got to know about it. For a lot of people in college that have babies, just educate them. We need to talk to our family. Talk to them, and we got to teach ourselves to stand up to. But when bad things do happen, we got to stand up in the right way. Take the proper action. Call the cops if you have to. Sometimes you just got to call the cops. None of this, they call it snitching. And that's stupid. That's probably where a lot of the violence comes from. No one wants to tell the cops, go to the right authorities, snitching. Unbelievable. We're going to protect each other. This is going to be a good year. Wright State's going to have a wonderful year. And people, my old elementary school was Cox Elementary School. So let's love each other. Let's protect each other. Life is happy when we're good to each other and we don't have to deal with violence. And it would change, and it'll be a big impact. I tell you, we just educate ourselves. We would change this world in such a big way. So with that, that's part one of bullying. Dealing with bullying when you're young. Because next week I want to talk about the adult version of bullying. Something that's way more intense, I believe. Psychologically more intense. But I'll deal with that next week. I think it'll be an interesting discussion. I am live next Tuesday night at 8 p.m. where I'll have more shenanigans. I'll have the Dem Weekly Showcase. I'll have the Top 120 Countdown. I'll continue the countdown. 6 more songs. And I'm working on getting a guest. And I'll think of some jokes to tell. And it'll be great. And once again, visit me at www.facebook.com/OhioIsOnFire. And watch my old episodes at www.youtube.com/OhioF. That's where you can catch me and support me if you like what I do. And thanks to people that did listen tonight. I had a few callers. Thank you very much. And, all right, well, in Ohio, let me tell you something, Ohio. That's the way it is. Warning. This episode of Ohio is on Fire contains strong opinions and viewpoints that belong to the host and guests that appear on Ohio is on Fire. This show contains entertainment and honesty that reaches extreme levels. Please do not try this at home.
Tyrants did it. Hitler took the guns. Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. And I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms.
My name is Elizabeth Holford, and I'm the Executive Director at Equality Ohio.
I have a First Amendment.
Equality Ohio.
These officers want me to leave this position just because you got cameras.
Equality Ohio.
Can you believe it?
Witnesses say during a heated confrontation, a healthcare reform opponent had his pinky finger bitten off when he stuck it in a healthcare reform supporter's face. Police say the 65-year-old man picked up his finger and drove himself to Los Robles Hospital, where they're now trying to reattach it. Police tonight are searching for the biter who ran from the scene.
Enough! Silence! I can't take no more. Fire! 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 Fire!
Let's just talk. Listen, I'm sorry. You're highly professional at what you do. You get here and I rise to